This is the closest airport from our house, one of them, because we're in between Luxembourg and Frankfurt. This is a different Frankfurt airport. It's also international, but it's called Frankfurt Hahn, I guess. It's gonna see the name up front. This is where our Ryanair Airlines work from. There you go, the name, see? I was very apprehensive overall, like the experience. We paid $14.99 a ticket, so it seems very cheap. So this is our first trip to Italy, and we are very, very surprised. There's the cute little houses, the view from the airplane, and before that we also saw some of the little Alps, because it's close by Austria, is right south of Austria. And that city is called Treviso. It's actually known from the tiramisu, and it's a mix of culture that don't really blend together from Austria and Italy. Alright, our experience with Ryanair was amazing. I praise the Lord. And we just arrived on the Piazza Roma. After we just literally walk outside of the exit of the airport, and we already saw our bus that was waiting for us. We arrived on time, even though the airplane was a little late. That is the Piazza Roma. That is where we stop. We get out from our bus, and we just across the street on direction that bridge, and we already saw the station where we get our vaporettos. Is the bus, the water buses, I guess. That's gonna take us to our hotel. And this amazing view. Our plans is to arrive today and spend tomorrow to know the main places. This is San Marco. And after that, maybe visit a few islands. This is our Giudecca, the island that we're gonna stay at, and have a view right that is really close to our hotel right now. I walk all over that this morning. You're gonna see in the next videos. This is the Redentore, the church called Redentore. That means Redentor, Redeemer. And that is the San Marco Basilica, very famous. We just visit today, but we're not really enter inside of it. This is the entrance of our hotel at night, and this is how it looked like the garden this very morning, like 5 a.m. And then I took a walk close by our hotel, and I walked pretty much the whole thing, the whole island till the end on the, I think it's Fontanelli, the name of the street. And you can get lost, can get all over the place, but I just stay on this side of the road and just walk to the main street. Has a lot of little streets in between these houses. You don't really show much. Have some stores as well that you can look some art, like canvases or just glass art, because it's what Venezia is also known for the Murano island, glasses from Murano. So this is actually a Hilton hotel, but it's a beautiful architecture as well. And they have a few flags over there. I thought I saw a United States flag on the building before that one. You're probably gonna see when I'm coming back. So this is actually kinda almost the end of the island. There's another stop after that Hilton hotel, which you can only access with Vaporetto or with a bridge way behind the hotel, which I was not up to walk this morning. But I took a Vaporetto this afternoon with lights that you're gonna see later, and you're gonna see. So this is a thing that I saw the American flag over there. I don't really know what it is, but anyways, if you know, drop below the comments. And then that is the San Marco Basilica again, and that is the view from our gate. I really love that we could see the San Marco Basilica. That is pretty much one of the main buildings to see in Venezia. And that is the entrance of our hotel. Let me just tell you, I highly recommend this hotel. The landlord was very nice. We find it booking.com, and it's just amazing. Just It's very hard to find a nice apartment that can fit the whole family comfortably. So this guy have like over 5+ beds. It was really good. He really make an effort to accommodate us. Like, was perfect for our family. And have this little interest that is really interesting. It was so nostalgic for me because this is just my great grandma's wardrobe. Like, literally is exactly my great grandma's wardrobe, father. I really love to see that. It was very nostalgic. She's 90 something years old right now, so it's very nice to remember her. That is the garden this morning after I came from my walk, and it was a little warmer. And
it's our garden.
It has like some beautiful. I mean, it was warm the entire time. Feels like a mix of Rio de Janeiro and my state, because my state's like the perfect weather, and I love it. So that is what the garden looks like. The name of this hotel, it's Casa Eden, like literally like Garden of Eden. So I just love it so much. And here is our apartment, and it's kind of like a little condo. Over there is another apartment on those stairs, so we don't want to go there. Here's the view from the inside. This is what it look in the morning when you just wake up. It's very beautiful and feels really great. And one of our favorite things, this high ceilings is so high, and the furniture, it's have like very beautiful sculptures in it. It's very interesting. So this door, it's gonna take us to the kitchen. So you walk this little part with some art and stuff, and then this is the kitchen, equipped with silverware, plates, cups, a full big refrigerator, and also a freezer. And I love to just stop and watch each detail. Have so many beautiful art in different parts of porcelain, like portraits of people that probably lived there before or something. It's so beautiful. So this is the first bedroom. It's actually for the kids, but my husband and I took the mattress upstairs. But I really like the porcelain underneath these stairs. That it's very cute. I love the details of the porcelain. Very cute. Now upstairs, I don't really record much because we change everything. So, but it's a very comfortable apartment. I really recommend it. I'm gonna try it. Let the number the landlord down.
This is Tommy and his wife. Hey, Tommy.
So Tommy the Turtle is a persona that my husband's mother created to tell moral stories to them when they were a kid. Now we keep the tradition. So this morning, by the side of our hotel, we have this little place that you can get espressos in the morning, a little bakery. So you can get a few snacks. So we watched, they removed this piece of wood in front of the view that we have from San Marco Basilica, and then we headed to the San Marco Basilica. This is actually our first full day over here, and we're just leaving the island of Giudecca on our Vaporetto, which we got a 7-day pass, 7 day or 6 days, something like that. The thing is that we need it anyway, so it was the cheaper way to get around the city. You have to get a Vaporetto for more than a day if you're gonna stay more than a day, because just the water tax would be worth the whole 7 days, so we can't afford that.
Here is the
There we go.
Palazzo
There is the
Ducale.
Palazzo Ducale. It's the Doge's Palace. So it's very exhausting actually in the end of the day to have a round trip around the entire Venezia on the Vaporettos, because so many stunning architecture everywhere. Like literally, for you truly enjoy all the architecture that is there, you have to live there or spend a month or a year, so you can truly appreciate each detail, each history, because to do in a week is probably going to be overwhelming. You're not going to appreciate as much. And imagine in a day. In a day, you can do nothing. You can just take pictures and is it. You can read it on the internet, maybe before, ahead of time or something like that. But I would never waste our time in lines for watch inside of a basilica. We tried this morning, but we gave up. We pretty much saw today the Palazzo Ducale, even though we got one pass ticket for all the museums, like 10 museums including that pass, which is actually just $10 more than buying one ticket itself to watch the Palazzo Ducale alone, because this Palazzo Ducale, this is what it looks like inside, and it's pretty much the most expensive museum to see, because the other museums is cheaper, like €10 or 6, whatever the entrance, and the basilica is actually for free. But the line is so big, even in the very early morning, not completely peak of season, that not really know, like most people don't really wanted to be wasting your trip over that. I mean, I wouldn't. So my husband and I decided to do a few things at a time, and we decided to see the Palazzo Ducale today. That is one of the main buildings, of course, because the 3 main buildings of Venezia is definitely, without shadow of doubt, the Basilica, the tower, the big tower by the Basilica, and the Palazzo Ducale. Like this is the 3 main buildings. So we were absolutely perplexed of the opulence of the ceilings of the Palazzo Ducale. It's absolutely amazing, and we keep entering other rooms and other rooms and other rooms, and in each room has this beautiful pieces of art painted by Tintoretto. It is a very, very famous guy over there at the time, and this is what I know. I have to read more. It's probably very interesting. You know that Venice is pretty much built on top of a little Amazonia, right? It's like a bunch of forest underneath the entire city, and the wood never got rotten because the water protects the wood actually from oxidating. So it's very amazing, the entire engineering architecture of Venice. It's absolutely amazing. So this is the main building of the Palazzo Ducale, is where actually was the old parliament or something, where they do their meetings, their reunions. They decide everything about the government. And Venezia was also an amazing place back in days for kind of like a hub area in between the west and the east. And right there on the time before the big navigations. So it was an amazing city. Of course, has incredible history that we wish enjoy more and get more to it, but maybe someday, because this time we came with kids and we just try to take advantage of these times that we are in Europe. And since we find a $14.99 ticket, we couldn't refuse. So this is the end of the prison, and there is just more beautiful, gorgeous buildings outside. This is some of the style of art that you can find everywhere.
You don't
pretty much
see
in
it?
Venice, from the island of Murano. Now we took the Vaporator again, and we're gonna go back to the hotel, just because it can be a very overwhelming trip sometimes when you have kids, even with comfortable shoes and everything. But I decided to dedicate this first day just to one main activity each day, and today was visit the Palazzo Ducale. And while my husband came back to the hotel and the kids, I went to the local supermarket, which actually is like a very little supermarket, kind of like the closest comparison that I can make to the supermarkets in the United States would be Winn-Dixie, but very, very small, like has no idea how small it is. And in Germany, Penny supermarket. It's kind of like the products that you can find inside there on the island of Giudecca. But then I got the Vaporetto again with Elias, and we crossed the canal again, and we went back to the main island of Venezia in a neighborhood called Scale d'Orso d'Oro. In fact, you can just from our island Giudecca, you can just grab the Vaporetto until the stop called San Basilio. This is on our way back. Actually, that is the Rio Alto Bridge, one of the must-stop places too in Venezia, but unfortunately the kids were too tired and we were ready to go back home. So that is the
Here where?
you came from if you come from the
Here where?
and
Me and Elias are
there
taking
it's
a
me and
walk
Elias
in
back
Giudecca Island.
home. I mean back
She
to
looked
our
for supermarkets, little elementaries,
hotel
which is a little
island, and then we
store.
just got a
And
Vaporetto
now we're
until
gonna
the
go to
end
a little
of our
pool
island.
before
We actually stopped
we hit
at the
little
stops
elementary, which
place
is a
called
little
Sacca
supermarket,
Fisola,
because
and
they
we were
don't
looking
open
for
till
a little
4:30, and they only
alimentari, which is
remain
like a
open
little
till 7,
grocery
so
store,
it's a
and then
very
it was
strict
closed, of
time.
course, because it was 3 in the afternoon. So we decided to
They're
hit the
there,
pool,
they're
but the
open.
pool also was closed, and this is the time that they work. So we came back to the Vaporetto, and we took a Vaporetto to cross the canal again and go to Zateri, where we just went by today earlier when I was mentioning about the supermarket. So we could take either of the number 2 or N or 4.1 or 4.2 Vaporetto, and we can actually go to the other side of the canal, and we just have to pay attention to the direction of the Vaporetto, or we can, that is the supermarket Conad City, and that supermarket is actually comparable to a Publix, kind of like a Venezia style, because you can find the bread a little better, but
And this is like a
it's nothing really big whatsoever. It's very, very, very small. It's very little. It's very limited on things you actually can find there. But it's alright. At least we got our fresh little prezzemolo and coriandolo before. This supermarket has 2 floors. This is the second floor, and you can find actually the bread over and up there, and this is the understairs, the underneath part, and it's not really big as you can tell. And this is a little Chinese store where you can find very cheap. This is the boat where I got my prezzemolo and coriandolo before I hit the supermarket Conrad to bake some moqueca, and on the way back I decided to stop to get garlic and onions that I forgot, but I decided not to. Did you see the little protest the people are doing all over the place? Anyway, here is actually the other alimentari close by our hotel, actually by the door of our hotel pretty much. There's the kitty that I found on a walk this morning, and I decided to lock him inside of our building. And this is a baby turtle that my husband found after that other couple turtle that we saw this morning. My husband decided to buy some bananas and fed the little guy. The kids were very excited about it. Isn't that turtle cute, eating the bananas?
Where's your mommy and daddy?
This is so delicious. So I just grabbed some salami, some delicacies, some cheeses, some bread, gonna make me some
right?
mortadella
We really
sandwich,
enjoy
like
the
good
backyard
Brazilian old
this
days.
afternoon.
And just
have a
enjoying this
little
amazing weather with my husband and my
insect that
kids.
we should have a
And looking
repellent
forward
for
to
it.
be cooking here
It's not really
next day.
bothering